I'm recovering from eye surgery. I'll do the best I can. This video was going to go a certain way. I was going to focus mostly on the dive and Franco analysis. But now I'm going to start out with Convo Couch first. And we have the ability to make 15-minute videos. I do not know how long I can go with this stuff, but I do have a lot to cover. This may end up becoming several parts. So the game plan is to start out with the Convo Couch story and then move into the dive and then finish up with Franco analysis, or Frank analysis, he calls it. His name's Franco. He calls it Frank analysis. I thought this would be about the whatever's going on in Washington, D.C., where all these fake left media personalities in cahoots traveled down to Washington for something. I've got footage of one protest from the past. They were flaunting not wearing masks. I didn't notice this other footage. I don't really watch these people too much. I only noticed that they are in cahoots and that I know the backstory to it. The funniest part so far, before I get to the Convo Couch stuff to begin, is that in the dive portion, they say that Redneckonomics is taking a break from social media. That's fascinating. She's from West Virginia, closer than anyone to whatever is in the works for Washington, D.C., yet she's not going to partake, apparently, in the festivities. I like the word festivities. But we'll get to that in a bit when we go into the dive analysis. That's the stuff from Roar Media. They used to be Uphill Media, but as soon as I connected Mitchell Helt, who was on Graham Elwood's show 5 times at least, Redneckonomics was on that show. As soon as I linked Roar Media to Uphill Media to then all these other clowns called Convo Couch, Slow News Day, they linked themselves. As soon as I noticed that linkage, Uphill Media became Roar Media. It's not really about the names, Mi Casa is Su Casa, the Nico House, the whatever, media this, media that. They're all the same schmuck, they're in cahoots. It's easy to prove. Anyone can see it. They do it. They do it to themselves. They link to themselves. They make it obvious that they are COINTELPRO, modern day COINTELPRO, on the internet for social media. My contribution is to just find those more obscure facts and observations because no one else is going to do it. It's that simple. I know there's a bunch of people scattered out there who have the same sort of opinions as I do. That sort of helps me to continue. It is extremely time consuming to put these together. It's sort of a hit or miss. Sometimes my videos are great. Other times they're probably okay. Maybe every once in a while there's a dud. But that's the plan, to be at least okay. To be on a spectrum from okay to greatness. So without further ado, let's begin the show. You're listening to the Tokyo Shemp podcast in video form. You're watching and listening Tokyo Shemp Productions. And listening to America, the version by Yes. Dun, 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 oops. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, enough of that. On to the show. Just had to add that little bit more after deciding to end it. So yeah, it turns out that Convo Couch apparently has made their first arrest. That cop who got apparently shot in the face or something with bear spray and he died. It turns out that the Convo Couch had the footage that has led to the arrests. Now they're hamming it up about how greatness the Washington Post is for giving them credit while the others are busy stealing their content. The most fascinating part of it all, to me anyway, is how they keep talking about how they're not informants, how they're just being the news and they're not snitches. The other thing that I noticed with these guys is you can really see their bodies shaking around. It makes you wonder what sort of drugs are they on? How come every single person in this COINTELPRO network, why do they all have the shakes? Why are their faces all mixed up with involuntary movements? I mean, I could go on, and it would have nothing to do with Camel. I could go on and on about that guy Craig calling everyone fam. That's an appropriation, I think, of African American culture. I think Fiorella, whatever, I think she's Spanish, Imperial Spanish. I don't think she's eligible for the woman of color attribute or title, whatever it is. And I think Jimmy Dore's wife is the kind of Mexican who originated in Spain, the same type of imperialist. I can't prove it, I don't really care. And it's really the Rat Snitch TV part that I should be covering instead of the other junk. So that should be enough for my commentary on the Convo Couch. Whatever they were up to has led to arrests. I have no problem with these alleged murderers being arrested based off of video. I am a bit concerned about military shills posing as left and going all these protests and taking up too much of the bandwidth on YouTube, who keep attacking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They're a broken record. Thus I become a broken record. I don't have any notes. I really can't make this video as good as my last one or some of the other ones. I'm probably doing most of my commentary right here, right now, without notes. And just giving a preview of the clips that'll be used. I'll let the clips do the talking. I'll let the reader decide, the watcher, viewer, listener decide, not the reader. If my eyes completely rebound, then I'll do the more time-consuming work and make these better. For now, I'm in survival mode. This Franco analysis, I took some screenshots. One can look at them and see that he's shown up out of nowhere, yet has become a major player in the Convolution Couch Nico House network. This is so incestuous. They promote each other, they go on each other's shows, but then they go a little bit too far. They push their stupid, idiotic military shill network a little too much, and it becomes obvious. I think that explains why they don't get that many views, they don't get that many subscribers, they don't get much of anything. Graham Elwood gets nothing. He's a whiny man. No one's going to be listening to that guy. At least for myself, my voice is probably fairly decent to listen to. At least the cat appreciates me. This guy Franco, you look at him, he's obviously a military guy. All these people, you can tell they're military. So Franco, on his channel page, he's promoting all these channels. You see the usual suspects. And then there's this other guy at the end, Uncontrolled Opposition. He's using a spy as his avatar. I've seen another person do that. I also see that chair popping up a lot again, that Yvonne Kim Slow News Day chair. I think Craig Pastaface has one of those chairs. I'm just thinking maybe there's some type of government project, government contract in which these paid fakes get the chairs. Those fancy chairs to rest their heads on while they're making their fake shows with their fake AstroTurf. Slow News Day and Manitalk had the same cartoonish avatar. What a coinky-dinky, it's. I have Asperger's, so I tend to have things go on repeat within my noggin. So in the last video, I think it was, I put up a clip of Redneckonomics talking about how the FBI has been infiltrating social groups, movement groups for probably 100 years. That's actually quite a decent number or guess. I think I would guess in the 30s it picked up. At least I got that around that time, 30s, 40s, from the Smedley Butler, J. Edgar Hoover connection. Hoover created the FBI, so I imagined it was around the 30s or 40s, but I mail stuff in, I mail my life in. I'm a disciple of Krishnamurti. I would rather be doing shows on him, or not on him, but mostly on the philosophies that I learned from him about the mind, about existence, about the big question of suffering and pain, and why nothing ever gets any better. But for now, I'm still within this FBI Rat Snitch TV video I'm making right here on the rat snitches. They're friendly rat snitches. They're trying to be subtle, but it turns out they're all linked to the hip. So you look at that hip, and it's kind of like a Trojan horse. I got them with the Trojan. I'm like a Rambo within a Trojan horse. So all these losers, they congregate. They're like, let's focus on the Trojan horse. And then out comes a non-violent anarchist named Rambo who says, haha, you're all busted as FBI Rat Snitch TV. Even Glory Jones coined that phrase. So yeah, you look at this guy, uncontrolled opposition pushed by Franco analysis. It looks like he's dropped out of the picture. It's because one needs talent. You can't just show up. I just showed up, but I had a little bit of talent. Just a little itsy bitsy, unsy, squinchy amount of talent. And that saw me through. I may eventually go on the big screen myself, but only to prove that my face does not twitch out, that I'm not a drug addict, unless you count marijuana. And maybe because I'm just as funny in the flesh as I am through the pen or the mouth. So that should be it. That should be enough. Sorry if this was in a higher level of production value, that the Tokyo Shemp viewership of 12 loyal viewers. Sorry it wasn't up to their standards, but they know that you can't expect every show to be the greatest of greatness. Sometimes it's just okay, and that's good enough, apparently. You've been listening, watching the Tokyo Shemp Network. All aboard to look for America. Dun, 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 dun. This has been. That's it. I already said that part. And that's the show. That's the way it was. That's the way it is. I like that part. Dun, dun. Some yes I hate, but some yes like this I really like a lot.